I'm saying, man. Gotta take care. Oh, I gotta take care of these Linux users, man. Gotta take care of them, man. Hello, viewers. Mornings. Good afternoon. Another beautiful day. Yep. Hope your photosynthesis work, health, and strength is good. Or excellent. Alright, what I got for you? Oh, we talking about Ubuntu. 24.4.1. Alright. See me? See, I'm a Ubuntu user, you know? Yeah. And I was using Slack. First I tried Red Hat, but then I was using Slackware. And one day I went to this show called UDS, and they were giving out a free copy of Ubuntu 12.4. Yeah, still got it. And the server operating system for free. And I've been using Ubuntu ever since. So UDS, that was like 12.4 came out like what year is this? 2024. So you're looking at like what? probably like back in like 2015, somewhere around there. So yeah, I've been using Ubuntu ever since, man. So yeah, and now we're up to 24.4. And of course you got Kubuntu and Ubuntu, you know. So, and if you got like an older machine, that's where Ubuntu will come in. So pretty good to use. Of course there's there's other Linux distros, you know, like what's this? Stacko Puppy, Wacky Puppy, Wary Puppy, Lucid, Mac Pup. Of course there's Debian. Okay, you got Slackware. Of course Ubuntu. What else we got? Fedora. Of course Linux Mint, XFCE, and of course Ubuntu. So yeah, I'm big on Linux, so I use it, and Windows. So you know, I don't limit myself. But other than that, man, Linux community is growing. There's nine comments in this section. Listen to this. It says here Ubuntu 24.4.1 is out now. Here's how to upgrade it. Conical has announced the availability of Ubuntu 24.4.1. It's the first of several point release expect to come out, and it rolls all the available updates to up to date in a single ISO, saving you time on new installs. If you have Ubuntu 24.4 already, just apply available updates and you'll be on Ubuntu 24.4.1 too. Usually nothing is exciting about these point release, but the first point release is notable because Conical switches on upgrades from Ubuntu 22.4 LTS for the first time. While Ubuntu 24.4 LTS came out in April, Conical hold off on upgrading 22.4 LTS users just in case there was a bug. The maturation period ensures that users continue to get a stable experience. The new point release is available for Ubuntu desktop servers and cloud products. The various spins also gets the update, including Kubuntu, Ubuntu Budgie, Ubuntu Mate, Ubuntu, Ubuntu Kylin, Ubuntu Studio, Xbuntu, Edbuntu, Ubuntu Cinnamon, and Ubuntu Unity. It says any Ubuntu 22.04 LTS user should keep their eyes peeled on the update manager, as this is where the upgrade will be made available for download. With that said, if you don't want to move from Ubuntu 22.4 LTS, you can keep on running it without issue for another 3 years until 2027. Some readers may be aware that some Ubuntu point release features hardware enablement HWE updates, which brings support for new hardware. Ubuntu 24.4.2 will be the first release this cycle to introduce improved hardware support, introduced by Ubuntu 24.10. According to OMG Ubuntu, existing users will get the HWE stack via software update too. So if you've been thinking about installing Ubuntu recently, now is the perfect time to do it. The new spun ISO features all the small updates that have been release since April. This will save you time post install, so it is a great time to get Ubuntu. Now that's the end of the article. It's pretty good to use. Plus it comes with its own spreadsheets and has its own app store and stuff like that. So Ubuntu's pretty good to use. Now when it comes to like they like when it comes to running Ubuntu, you got to know what motherboard architecture to use. Like let's say for 18, like when 18.4 came out, it went up to architecture, motherboard architecture i386. After that, you couldn't install like 19 Ubuntu 19.10 or 20.4 or 22.4. So you got when it comes to using Ubuntu, you got to know the motherboard architecture that is required to run it. And once you figure that part out, you're good to go. So, but other than that, it's pretty good to use. Yeah, and then there's like pseudo commands that you got to enter in the terminal. Like for instance, if you want to run DVDs or Blu-rays on Ubuntu, you can search that up and look and get the sudo command for that, and you can be able to run Blu-rays and DVDs on Ubuntu. So it's pretty good to use. Got 9 comments here. Let's see what these debaters talking about. Thartis, does Mint get updated ISO to these? Yeah, they do. Yeah, Linux Mint, of course. Linux Mint always get updates. And Linux Mint, it said once the ISO is released for a new version, it's final. Yeah, the Crip said no, but really don't matter because it says this in the topic and it rolls all the available updates to the dates into a single ISO, saving you time on new installs. So basically it's just to prevent one having to install a lot of update as time passes. Mint gets new points released every 6 months, i.e. for example mid-year December 2024 / January 2025, then mid 2025 December January 2025-2026, which pretty much has the same effects. Basically with Mint it does this: major release every 2 years, and this says i.e. mid 2024, 2026, 2028, and one get point release, which are optional 6 months apart during these 2 years spans. Then it says i.e. 22.0, 22.1, 22.2, 22.3, then shift to a major release. And it says PS, each major release is pretty much supported for pretty much 5 years, technically a bit less. As for example, Mint 22 was released about mid 2024 and will be supported until April 2029. So when Mint 23 comes out in mid 2026, that will be supported until April 2031. I am sure you can see the pattern here. Then Goodbot Badbot said this: I'm thinking of finally moving away from Windows and switch my laptop, which is my secondary PC, to Ubuntu. I was going to wait for Ubuntu 24.10 because NVIDIA, or the release of the new Cosmic and Pop OS 24.4, but so done with Windows. When say total move away from Windows, I mean I will still need to use it in a VM for work reasons. you know how many people I've seen like talk about moving away from Windows? They always do that, but me, it's good to just use both. That's what I say. Anyway, good to stay in the loop, use both Windows and Linux. Keep up with the updates and the changes that's happening, and you're good. What's another one here? Who's this? Becker said this: I've considered the same thing, but despite what the community claims, Wine and Proton are not a magic wand that lets me run whatever window app and games I want. I really don't want to maintain 2 different OS instances, dual boot or VM. I get my Linux enjoyment at work and manage my small home servers, but for my daily driver, I regrettably sticking with Windows for the foreseeable future. Maybe in a few years we will have complete transition to Wayland, have a great NVIDIA driver and Proton compatibility, or native support will be an exception for studios. If all those things come together, I'll give it a try, but we are a long way off. Like I said, use both. That's what I do. You know, it's good to it's good to use both Windows and Linux. You know, you're not missing out on anything. You know, they both have their advantages and disadvantages. And then who is this? There's reason nested IF statements are frowned upon. And then some Becker said that is why I was clear that it was a single local evaluation, not these nested statements. Anyway, who else is this? Good bot, bad bot. I am already using Linux on my main box with no NVIDIA GPU and not too much of a gamer, so don't really have any reason to use Windows. I have to access work stuff a handful of times a year, and while could get a laptop from work, it doesn't make sense to have a whole other machine, so a VM is perfect. I realize not everyone can ditch Windows. Yeah, that's true. Some people gonna stick with it. And he says no one in the community has ever said one can run any Windows apps and games they want with Wine or Proton. LOL. Last comment. And then Bad Fink said this: I've just made the move. It was how mature that Proton had become for the games that I play, mostly single player offline, that resulted in my final leaving Windows behind. Sadly, I have to use Windows for work, but at home I am finally free. So look, man, when it comes to Windows and Linux, man, use both. And if it's Apple, use all three. That's what I say, you know. Because I mean, people gonna, I think sometimes people say they're gonna leave Windows, but they don't leave. And then some people say they stick with Linux, but they don't stick with Linux. They have both Windows and Linux. So me, on the other hand, I'm just like, I say use both, and learn what you can learn from both of them, and just keep pushing. But other than that, man, 24.4.1 is out, and you have to know that what architecture, motherboard architecture you need to run 24.4. You know, like I told you, like from Ubuntu 18.4, it goes up to architecture i386. So now to run like 19 and 20, now you probably need like 486. And I remember Conical said months ago that they were going to go to Pentium architecture. So to use the current Ubuntu's now, like say 20.4, 22.4, and 24.4, you probably need a Pentium architecture. So yeah, but you know, Ubuntu, they come with their own spreadsheets and, you know, different apps, and, you know, in the app store that you can use, and yeah, go on from there. And of course there's a terminal if you want to learn how to run sudo commands and practice, you know. So yeah, you got plenty of games to play on Linux now thanks to the Steam Deck. So you guys, you're good. Anyway, what else I got up on this thing here? Oh, they're talking about nothing else. Anyway, I'm gonna leave this video for y'all to enjoy. Nice talking to you people again. Chris, still Star Wars thing. Borg, Dark Side. Oh, base.